Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's One Funny Morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our
murder
small
in New Jersey.
he was a lot
Like
with his everything.
Oh.
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
That's Stella!
Yeah!
Hi guys, it's Anne Marie from Michigan. Last 3 hours to Las Vegas from Beaver, Utah. This is the 4th day of our road trip. Dina, take it away. Uppy, uppy, uppy.
I feel like we've been watching Anne Marie get to Vegas. Just so you know, it ends well. She gets to Vegas. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We in the kitchen. We gonna make a smoothie. All right. I want you all to know I've been up a ridiculous amount of time this morning trying to prepare for smoothie day. It's very exciting. You guys are probably like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for smoothie day. Me too. All right. So, thanks, Brooke Schmurmurmurer. Good morning from thunderstorms in East Texas. Ugh. Is it just Florida that has beautiful weather? Is that why? Yeah. I'm also making a smoothie. What kind of smoothie are you making, Missy? I told Michelle she's going to find us a smoothie expert because a lot of these smoothies don't have, one of my questions is they don't have like a lot of protein in them. They're all natural for sure. And most of them, some of them do have added sugars. This one doesn't. But some of them do. And, hold on. Do I look adult today, Molinay? I did shower. I don't want to brag, low key brag. Hold on. Let me show you what we're making today. I have to put a picture in here. The other day, where did it go? Of today's smoothie stuff. Girl, when you're down, do you ever just, okay, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just show it to you. Do you ever just look at your downloads, your download file and realize that you've been downloading things since, I don't know, 2013 and you've never deleted? Anyway, okay, all right, cool. All right, this is what we're making. Blueberry banana smoothie. What? Smile. Okay. I don't know why I did that. All right. It just says in a blender, combine all ingredients. Total calorie count, 329 calories. Booyah. And it better be yummy. So, I had protein powder to mine, banana protein, spinach, peanut butter powder, strawberry kefir. Girl, don't curse at me. What's a kefir? What are you even saying? I don't even know what a kefir is. Let me look up kefir. Kefir Sutherland. Kefir yogurt. It says there are multiple matches for kefir, including a musician, a basketball player, and a fermented milk drink. Interesting. Fermented milk similar to a thin yogurt or Aran that is made from kefir grains, a specific type of mesophilic symbolic culture. Wow, that sounds great. Sounds super yummy. But basically, it's runny yogurt. Yeah, sounds really fun. Yeah. Kefir is a probiotic for your pooper. I don't know where I was pointing. Just in this. Okay. All right. It's like a portable yogurt. She said she's going to poop soon. That's what I said, Kat. All right, here we go. Now this called for frozen blueberries. Mine are not frozen. I don't know if we think that that's going to affect things. I could add extra ice, but it says 1 cup of frozen blueberries. They're not. We're going to will them to be frozen. Girl, they eat. Okay. And we'll just throw some extras in there. Okay. All right. That's 1 cup-ish. All right. And I can't wait to show you what I got. Missy, you're going to love this. Hold on. 1 banana. Okay. I only use coconut yogurt. Interesting. I'm so glad you guys are here because I wouldn't do this by myself. I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a muffin because this just feels like a lot of work. But if we do it together, then I'm like, sure, I'll do it. Maybe you feel the same way. Do smoothies just feel like putting an addition on your house? I want you to know I've never made a smoothie in my life. It has ice in it, so I'm surprised it asked for both, but you know, whatever. All right, now this could be perfect timing. We can have our smoothie, because today we're going to talk about with Nina Davuluri, who you're going to love. All right, 1/2 cup of orange juice. All right, now here's what I learned. Are you ready? So I've been paying attention to the sugars, obviously, in the things that I'm eating. Now, I have decided as a person that I will not eat anything if it has more than like 3 to 5 grams of sugar. Because there's like 1 gram of sugar in my peanut butter. I looked it up. Jif only has 1 gram, bees. Okay. Okay, so this one, but here's, you have to read it. You have to read it. Orange juice, total sugar, 22. But if you look at the ingredients, it's 100% orange juice. That means it's sugar from Jesus. We don't count that sugar. Just like this. We do this with our hands. We don't do that. That doesn't count. What is it? So, and then it says added sugars, 0. Okay, Jesus. Okay, Jesus. So, I want a smoothie, but I don't want to get out of bed. No, it's not, Carol. All the sugar is going to make you want more sugar. I don't think so. Jesus sugar, it makes a difference if it's natural sugar or manufactured. Shouldn't you be eating pie for breakfast? You're right. I know, but I'm going to tell you. Let's just try it. Listen, you know how the doctor says, or people say that you're supposed to have your daily allowance, supposed to have 3 fruits a day, 4 vegetables. I'm telling you, I met all my daily allowances yesterday. You know why? Because every time I wanted to have a cookie, I ate a piece of fruit like a murderer. Murder. I don't know who I am anymore. So anyway, okay, but this is what I did do. Okay, so this recipe called for non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt. Now, I did not do non-fat because I care less about the fat. Well, this says it's reduced fat anyway. But girl, look what I found. I'm so excited. Are you ready? It's probably going to make me poop. Chobani, less sugar, Madagascar vanilla, and cinnamon. That's their tell, Shakendra. Everybody knows that. Girl, let me read it to you. It's got 10 grams of sugar, but only 5 grams of added sugar, and that is below our $5 max. I know, Karen, but it's natural sugar. It's Jesus sugar if it's in fruit, so that doesn't count. Listen, if I don't eat something yummy, I'm gonna die. I have no joy. Let's just be clear. We've already taken wheat off the table. We've already taken high-fat things because I don't have a gallbladder. That's all I have left. That's all I have left. I know, typically, Mary, but not this one. It comes in below the threshold. It smells so good. Cinnamon regulates your sugar. Girl, that's what I said in the aisle when I picked it up. I said, this probably gonna regulate my sugar. Uh-huh. It has natural flavor in it, and that's anything but very natural, very inflammatory. I don't know what that sentence meant. Felicia, say it again. Yeah, I'm gonna have the skin of a 22-year-old. I don't know why. Jody said it helped her skin, and she basically looked 17. All right, here we go. We need half a cup. Girl, this smells so good. Okay. Look at us. I don't even know who I am today. That is really good. I am going to the office. I'm going to the dentist. And I want them to think I have a job and that I can pay this bill. Girl, if you go to the dentist like you poor, they won't work on your teeth. So today, I was like, let me walk in like I got a job. I get my cap today. You guys are going to be like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. Oh, it's anything but natural. It's very inflammatory. I don't know, Felicia. We'll see. People, your brain only uses glucose as energy source. So you do need some type of glucose every day. Lack of glucose is why diabetics go unconscious. I'm already drinking mine. It's awesome. I also added collagen powder and some amino acids. Me too. I just did. Listen. All right, now I gotta just go get ice. Hold on. A cup? A cup. It says optional. Let's do it. Okay. All right, here we go. This is so awesome. It's simmering. Oh my gosh, it looks like a smoothie. Oh. It smells so good. Try cottage cheese, pineapple, and cinnamon. Teresa. What? Why would I do that? Girl. I did a great job. Lorene, I'm doing a good job. I'm eating more vegetables than I ever have and fruit. And I haven't had any like sugar. I should have added cinnamon. Oh my gosh, I did a great job today. I feel great. Can you tell? Is my skin better? I used to make smoothies in kids' day. I know. All these people poo-pooing. Girl, I'm early. You guys, I'm early. You guys are still doing, what am I gonna give up for Lent? Girl, I already started. Yeah, Sharon, I'm trying to do something with this kitchen. We'll see what happens. It's really good. I like it. I recommend. It is good. What's Whole30, Beth? Isn't that like one of the, like a eating plan? Mm-hmm. So much better, Robin. Thank you. Mm-hmm. One sip is all I needed. Carrie, I'm at the house of my lover. And his name is Jason. And I moved in. And it's like, whose kitchen are you in? I moved in Whole30 diet, cut out gluten, sugar, dairy. Yeah. I cut out most of it except for the dairy. The Wi-Fi is not working well. I lost 40 pounds on Whole30. I went to a Bible retreat with the bishop last night. Of course you did, LaFive. He told us to party today because Lent is on Wednesday, eating chocolate and chips all day long. The Whole30 program is a program that uses 0 sugar. So you don't eat fruit? Love Whole30. No dairy, no gluten, no sugar, no legumes. You do it for 30 days to see what triggers you. I decided for Lent I'm going to put my laundry away the same day it's washed. Our guest is at 9. Thanks, Peggy. And no joy. No sugar, no gluten, no joy. You can have fruit, but no honey. So other than the yogurt, this would be on their diet. No, Walla's coming up this weekend. I hated Whole30 because you couldn't eat fruit. Somebody said you could. Oh my gosh, it's so good. My friend dropped a whole lot of weight on Whole30. Yeah, but what are you eating? Like, can you eat pasta? Like when you say no fruit. You can eat berries. That's very specific. Is it really blurry? Should I go back to the other room? I could try to do that. It's going to get a little ugly though. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can do this. The whole feel is tense, but I did feel better. All right, let's see how many hands it'll take to get all the stuff to the other room. Because Nina's going to come on, so I don't want it to be. I'll just ignore this light. We're going to put this right here. Just so you know, this is not a good idea, what I'm doing. All right, we're going to do it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I can feel it, you guys. My skin is tighter. Everything's tighter. For serious. My legs are stronger. My knees less chapped. Just so much. Belly tighter. Fupa tighter. Who don't want a tighter fupa? Okay. Oh, I left the box in there, of course. You're seeing all the magic happen. Hold on. Listen, I don't want to pretend that this show just happens. There's a whole team of people that have to work together to make this show come together. And you're seeing that magic right now. The way that Lulu just walks around and doesn't help at all. Watch out, Lulu. Watch big head. Let's see. Okay, that's going to be a lot to clean up later. Okay. Yeah. Let's I mean, if we go set up, we might as well set. This is why I'm late all the time. I can do everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I shouldn't go to Dunkin's for a mint tea today with 3 sugars. No, you should. Oh, I look gorgeous here. Why would I be in the kitchen? Look how it's the smoothie, you guys. When I went from the kitchen to here and I had this smoothie, I got 10 times prettier. Tell me I'm wrong. And that's why we're going to do 1 smoothie a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sherry, I got these at the Ross. I got my work sweater and my work shirt for when I go to the dentist. And they do my teeth and they'll be like, she could probably pay this bill. We'll do the work. And that's why I dressed like this today. So, Sue Ellen, I do have a healthy glow, and it's because of this smoothie. It's a miracle. Hey, who's growling? Okay, before we bring on our fabulous guest, that's the Ave Maria. It's my new clock. Now it's going to chime 9 times. I'm going to have 100 cuckoo clocks here. And at 9 o'clock every day, they're all going to chime at the same time. And you're going to be like, I hate 9 o'clock. I think that Jason is secretly happy that he works during the day, so he doesn't have to listen to a chime. All right. Anyway, so I made some adjustments to that. Anywho, well, as you know, sexy producer Michelle is always helping us find amazing guests. Today's guest, I am so excited to introduce you to. I feel like I met her when she was just a baby, and I was hosting Miss America. I hosted Miss America for probably 10 years. And it's very different going from competing at Miss America to eventually becoming the age of the mothers of the girls that are competing. So, but I get to really meet some wonderful ladies. And Nina, who is our guest today, was one that I met when she was very young. And a lot of the girls I follow on Instagram, and I just love her Instagram. I love her messages, all the things she talks about. So let me tell you a little about her. She's an acclaimed filmmaker, activist, actor, and entrepreneur. She first gained international recognition by becoming the first South Asian to win the title of Miss America in 2014, solidifying her place in history. Her foray into filmmaking combines the network she has cultivated, her love for advocacy, and disrupting global beauty standards by producing the documentary Complexion. It was released on Amazon in 2023. As a global leader in redefining beauty standards, she spearheaded a campaign against colorism using the hashtag #SeeMyComplexion. This led to her being invited by the CEO of L'Oreal to join the L'Oreal Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Board, which she currently serves on. Since then, she was invited to participate in Harvard Business School's graduate course in the business of entertainment, media, and sports. She truly believes entertainment and media are the most impactful mediums to create lasting change. And as such, she is currently at NYU pursuing her master's in music and vocal performance as she continues to fulfill her childhood dream of becoming a singer. So please help me welcome to the show, Nina Davuluri. Hey, Nina. How are you?
So good. It's so good to see you and hear you.
It's so good to see you. I feel like I see you all the time, but it's just on Instagram. So I was like, you need to call Nina. She needs to be on the show.
I'm so happy. The last time I saw you in person was when you were doing your OneFunnyMother show.
Really?
Was it at New World Stages?
It was New World Stages.
Yeah, and I came with my mom, and I think that was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, well, 2016, 17.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
that show I still think about. It was one of my favorites. It really was.
That's so nice of you. Well, I was just on your Instagram, and you've been kind of talking about your thoughts and journey about motherhood in the long run, which I think is pretty incredible. Do you want to talk about that? I mean, there's so many questions I could ask you, but I was just kind of scrolling through. Do you want to tell everybody what your journey is now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, where to begin? Well, you mentioned motherhood. I'm currently on my egg freezing journey, round 2. So I did my first round of egg freezing last January. And actually I just completed my second round this past February. So I'm 35 for those of you. Hello in Dina's lovely world. And yeah, I mean, I think like, you know, for me, I kind of was always a question mark about kids, and I just got engaged last year, and I think I came to the decision that I don't want to close the door on having the option. So this felt like a good option for me to pursue.
And your fiance is adorable.
I think so too. We have a great
adorable. He's in Nina's videos, and I love there was a video of you trying to teach him how to say
Yes, Telugu. My family is South Indian, and he's wholeheartedly embraced the culture. He is half Chinese, and so it's been really fun kind of sharing both our cultures with each other.
And so what language is it?
It's called Telugu, Telugu.
Telugu.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Are you fluent?
I am, yeah. It was actually my first spoken language because we grew up just speaking that in our house. And so that was the first language I ever learned.
Wow, I love it. So let's go back, right? Because your claim to fame, your place in history, is becoming the first South Asian to become Miss America. Take us on that journey. Were you like always a pageant girl? Because you don't come off as a pageant girl at all. Even, I mean, you've always been so down.
Really? I feel like I am such a pageant girl.
I think you're just so down to earth. I think that's why I just thought you were so lovely. And just even when you were Miss America, I think because I know the girls when they're competing at Miss America, but you know, you just always seemed very relatable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I guess I was always a girly girl. I guess that was always true. Growing up, like I loved the bows, I loved pink, like that was always me. What drew me to pageants was honestly performing. Like I grew up singing and dancing. It was not a viable career in my house. Like it just wasn't something that my parents encouraged. But pageants with the scholarship aspect, especially with Miss America, it was kind of the way that I could sell it to them. And, you know, I was being the good Indian daughter and saying that I wanted to go to med school mostly because of the reaction of my parents were like, oh, we love you so much. We're so proud of you in like 2nd grade. And so I doubled down on that for, you know, throughout all my formative years. But I remember, you know, even when I mentioned like pageants, my first pageant I did in the Miss America system was when I was 16, my junior year of high school. And I kind of like mentioned to my parents, like, oh yeah, like I want to do this. There's a talents, community service, like all of this. And then like the real reason they actually let me compete, you know, scholarship, they were kind of like, okay, like, you know, we'll think about it. And then I was like, the current Miss America is a doctor.
That's all I needed to hear.
That was it. And to date, like she is the only Miss America to ever become a doctor. Like it just happened to be that year. And so they were kind of like, well, you know, like she'll be a good role model kind of thing. And it might help you with med school. And so that's really why they let me compete.
Wow. But your journey did not lead you to med school.
It did not lead me to med school.
And so you talk so much about so many things. So everyone is saying in the comments, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's so gorgeous. She's so beautiful. What's her skincare? But you are the person that really has dedicated your life to just dispelling lots of beauty myths. So tell everybody about that part.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, when you're that young, you don't realize what you're chasing. And I think a lot of times pageants are phrased as like empowering and this and that. And, you know, it's a both and. There's so many things I've learned from pageants, you know, interviewing and people skills being one of them. You can walk into a room without knowing anyone. Like I can do that. And I've been able to do that for the past 10 years. And have a conversation, which is really is a skill. But that said, I think the way to get there was not necessary and was maybe not the best way, because it's very layered and nuanced and wound up in terms of our worth is defined by our beauty standards. And a lot of it is defined by that outward appearance, especially in pageant world. And I think for me growing up, I was 16. So all we looked up to were the older girls. And this was when swimsuit competition was still in play. And so you would see everyone comment on everyone's bodies. And I just remember, putting myself through just so many different diets and everything throughout those years. I was between 16 and 24. And 24 was when I won Miss America. And I just remember I'd lost 55 pounds in my journey. I'd put my body through, insane things. I had that Kate Moss quote of nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, in my room when I was competing. And that quote breaks my heart because it's probably one of the worst ones that we grew up with in 90s diet culture, I would say. And so I think kind of when I had my, the start of my wake up call of why did I subject myself to having a panel of 5 judges put a score of 1 to 10 on me in a swimsuit? Why did I ever think that was okay? Was when I was actually judging, I think I was judging Miss Indiana at the time. It was after I'd won Miss America. It was probably 2018, 2019. And, he'd asked me to come on to judge, and it was my first time ever judging a state pageant. And I remember there was this gentleman who was taking the judges around, driving us around to wherever we needed to be. And at one point in the car, after one of the preliminary swimsuit competitions, he had said, this girl, she's been competing for so many years, and she just cannot get rid of her lower belly fat. And that was the moment where I was like, how dare you? For some reason, that was the time I needed to hear it, where I was just like, this is so unacceptable. And the fact that this man thinks that he can comment on this 20-year-old when frankly, he's not in shape himself.
Yeah, exactly.
But that just upset me so much. And I thought, how many people have done this and feel free that they can just say this and it's normal and accepted? And that sort of really started the unraveling process of all beauty standards for me, and kind of opened my eyes to that other side of pageants that I'd never seen before. And it wasn't until probably 2020 when I really started speaking out against it. And that really started through colorism, which is, I would say, pervasive in a lot of cultures, especially South Asian culture. The lighter skinned you are, the more beautiful you're considered. And that's kind of one of the beauty standards that I had grown up with, even though I kind of towed both cultures. And here the standard is everyone wants to be tan. And I will always say the tanning and skin whitening industries are both billion-dollar industries, and they sell opposite and opposing messaging. They're the opposite standard. And yet, people are buying into it depending on what they're taught and what they're learned. So if we can learn one standard, I really believe we can also unlearn those standards. And so that's the work that I've been doing since then.
You have. And, I think, it's very funny. I think all of us, when we kind of look back on our Miss America time, I think it's changed a lot. Some good, some bad. I have 2 daughters who are now within the age to compete, and they did compete at different times. And, my thing to them was always, I learned how to have an opinion, to stand by my opinion, and to speak and to walk into a room, like you're saying, Nina. And to me, that's so valuable. And there is no other place for them to do that in such a broad scale. And they competed for a bit, and then they didn't. I don't know if they'll go back. But, for me, it was always the interview parts that were so amazing. And I think that you're great at it, because I think you talk about so many different things. I had reached out to have you on the show because you also talked about, and again, I don't want to say that all of this is due to Miss America. I think that Miss America is like a microcosm of the world. Whatever's happening at that level, it's not just the girls at Miss America care about the fat on their body, right? And that because of that, we all have issue. whether you were Miss America or not, everybody has the same issues. And that perfectionism. And you talked about that in an article that I had read, and you talked about your journey with alcoholism. Do you want to talk about that at all? Because that was also very enlightening and very vulnerable.
Yeah, that one took me much longer to get to. I would say, and you're right. It wasn't because of Miss America, and I make that clear in the article too. I think it was just a catalyst to kind of expose everything underneath it all, because when you are sort of, thrown into the spotlight overnight, you're deemed like your ideal standard of beauty, and then you start touring. And for the people who don't know, like, Miss America is not a glamorous job. Like, being a state title holder is not a glamorous job. You are literally living out of 2 suitcases. The night I won, I'm asked to repack all my belongings into 2 suitcases, and you hit the road and you don't have a home base. You are going from hotel room to a flight to another city, to another event, to another hotel room. Like, that is really the schedule. And so it's kind of a lonely job, but also on top of that, every time you go into a room, people pay for you to be there. So there's this element of a transaction, right? Like, people feel like they can say certain things to you, or we've brought you here, so you now must serve us and do what we say because we've paid for it. And, partially that's true. But I think with that also comes with, we can comment on your body. We can comment on your appearance. I remember I showed up wearing pants, and like, I'm not going to lie, like I have a good fashion sense. Like, I always have.
Yeah.
Like, I was never one to, walk into a room and not look put together, but I was wearing a suit, like a pantsuit at this appearance. And I remember one of the organizers had said, well, you have to go change. You need to wear a skirt. Like, Miss America has to wear a skirt. There was one who called the office. This was a separate event, and said that, my armpits weren't cleanly shaven, which, like, they probably weren't. Like, honestly, like, I'm tired. Like
but somebody would call and say that?
I know. And then it had to, like, be passed on to me. And then, like, we had, like, a person, they called them a tour manager, who would travel with us throughout everything to make sure that we were safe and okay and on the road. And she was like, hey, so, like, you really need to shave your armpits. Like, can you even imagine having that conversation? Like, no one wants to. No. And so I was just like, all of those things kind of were like, oh, nothing ever is enough. Like, no matter what I do, I would walk in like polished head to toe, and that didn't matter because there was still something else that was wrong. So it's kind of this idea of like never being enough, even though you're completely validated and you thought your beauty is validated and that you are enough. And then you realize that you're never going to be everything to everyone. And it kind of slowly started where I would say, like, my, going into an event just caused a lot of anxiety throughout probably 3/4 way of the year. And that was kind of when I was like, and I was also 24 at this point, so it's not like alcohol was new to me. Like, I was living.
We were friends.
Yeah. And so it kind of started with like a personality cocktail. I was like, okay, let me just get through this. Like, I know people are going to say things to me that I just have to smile through and nod and push through that I don't like, but I can't really say anything in that moment. And so this is just going to make things a little easier. And I will also say, alcohol does run in my family. So it wasn't new to me when I started kind of seeing myself use it in ways as a coping mechanism. And I would say it probably really didn't get out of control until 2019. And that was kind of when I was going through just like career changes, trying to find who Nina was amongst Miss America, because you kind of lose your identity a little bit. You're kind of held to this one thing. And then, the second you give up your title, you see a new person doing your job, like, and they're getting all this limelight and glory and being loved by America. And you're just kind of insignificant. And I think the way I try to best compare it, and I know we're not Olympic athletes, but I saw the Michael Phelps documentary. It's called The Weight of Gold. And they talk a lot about how Olympic gold medalists have depression afterwards, and their mental health definitely takes a toll because they work their entire lives for this one big moment, and they are on this podium and they're being celebrated by America. And there's always someone younger and newer and better who then takes over and does their job, right? And so I think I found a lot of parallels through that in pageant world. And I've had since a lot of people say the same thing of kind of giving up their title and feeling that sense of lost or, loss of purpose in some ways. And so that's something I definitely felt for years. Tacking on the whole, like being the first South Asian, there was a little bit of a different standard also that I was held to in my community. And I think 2020 was really when it like really all came to a head and hit rock bottom. And that was when I decided to make the decision to get sober. And I'll always say like nothing bad happened. Like I was very lucky in that sense where there was nothing outwardly bad. If anything, my life was great. Like outwardly, right? Like all the successes were there. Like I had just finished producing the documentary, like all, the resume thing that you had just read at the beginning, all of that was there. But I was dying on the inside. And it was more of one of those things where I was like, if I know exactly where this path is leading because I'd seen it so many times in my family, and I can make the decision to change that.
Wow. Well, you're doing such a great job, Nina. It's so wonderful. I encourage everybody to follow Nina. I just feel like you're on so many journeys, and I feel like, I don't know how much you've watched what I've been up to, but in the last 3 years, I got divorced. All the kids moved out. You probably remember when my kids were so young. Now they're all gone and they don't need me. And I was on the dating apps, and everything is completely different. And I think that, we're all almost kind of, built to believe that you start in your 20s and you build this career and you build this life, and then that's it, and everything's going to be great. And you see, I see my kids at 22 trying to figure out what they're going to be, and it's a horrible time. And even in your 30s, you're like, am I where I thought I would be? Did I accomplish the things I thought I was going to do? What am I doing? And then I'm 52 and I'm like, what have I done? I sit in this room and I talk to myself for an hour. Like, you just don't know, and you think everybody else is doing so much better when realistically everybody is trying to figure themselves out. And so I think that what you do and what you share on your platform is amazing. And I think that you are doing the very thing that you're supposed to be doing. So it's so great.
I have to say, like, I actually wrote my one-person show this past year and performed it in May. It came out. It was like a one night only thing. And I really had been thinking about it for so many years. And I finally just like did it. And so many times I thought of your show, and like, I remember seeing at that show, and I remember just like feeling like, I know that Dina can do this. Like I can do this. And I don't have 3 children. Like,
nice.
So like being able to see, and it really does, like, that is one of the positive things I've also seen in, the Miss America organization, is not all of the women, but seeing the women who have lived beyond their titles, who have not let their titles define them, has really given me, somewhat of a path to say like, oh yeah, I can do that too, or it doesn't have to end here. And unfortunately, I wish I could say it was the other way around, but even young women that I competed with, I feel like are still kind of living in that world. And so when you see someone who is outside of it, you remember it that much more, and it's that much more impactful. So your journey has definitely inspired me to keep doing all the things that I never thought I would ever do, a one-person show.
That's so nice. So if you ever do it, you'll have to let me know. I'll bring my mom. We'll come and see it.
I will for sure.
That's so nice. So any things that we should be keeping our eyes open for, things that you're up to, things we can support? We have a great community of women here.
Yes. Thank you all for being here and watching and joining us this morning. I'm so excited to share that I officially have taken my memoir out to market, which means that it is currently, we'll see where it lands and with which publisher it will land with. So in the next, it's not going to be out for like at least another year minimum, but the process has begun and it's started, and I'm very excited to see where it ends up.
That's awesome. Well, I started writing mine as well, but mine is dirty. And
I love that even more. Mine was clean.
We'll put them right next to each other. We'll be somebody like the Miss America and all the struggles, and the Mother Miss America and all the struggles, and there'll be companion pieces.
I love that.
That's awesome. Well, her name is Nina Davuluri, everybody. Do yourself a favor, follow her on Instagram and all the wonderful things that she's doing, and tell your young daughters and granddaughters about her. I think that you're just doing some amazing things, and I think you have so many great things to talk about. So I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. And listen, I know you're too young for this, but when you hit 52, if you have a smoothie every day.
Oh, Dina, I am on the smoothie wagon. Like,
look at you. That's why you look so gorgeous.
I am here for it, and I love it. Today is blueberry cauliflower and banana.
Today's literally the first day I've ever made a smoothie.
What? Really?
You drink them all the time? That's why you're so gorgeous.
It's so easy. It's honestly the convenience. It's just so easy to just throw it in and not have to think about it.
Really? That's so funny, because I was like, I'm like sweating, like this was like hot. I gotta go clean the blender, and the lighting's not as good in there, Nina. It's the whole thing.
I get it. We all start somewhere.
Well, we're gonna do one smoothie a week. So I have all the ingredients. So this is blueberry banana week. But I found this magazine. It has like 300 recipes in it. So we're going to be doing smoothies for 3 years. And but some of them are really weird. Like one was like acorn, pineapple, like that. And you're just like, I don't think that's going to be good at all. So I don't know.
That's a good thing, because like I feel like you get your veggies without tasting them. So that's kind of like, it's always like hidden with the more powerful fruit flavors.
True. It's true. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. We'll see. But the next time you see me, be like, are you still drinking smoothies? I'll be like, it's too stressful. Who knows? Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And please come back. Let us know any other things that you're doing and how we can support. But you have a lot of fans here for sure.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Nina. I'll see ya.
Bye.
Isn't she amazing, everybody? That is Nina Davuluri. And again, one of my favorites from Miss America. And, I think it's hard. And you're going to look like a weirdo when you tell your kids and grandkids about her, because they're going to be like, how do you know who she is? And be like, because Dina told me on Smoothie Day, which is going to be a weird answer. But she's great. And I think she's a great role model, even so many years after Miss America, about starting over. And I think that, I think the one thing about Miss America is that it helps you say, here are the things that are important to me. And I want to be able to express that in the best way possible. So she's incredibly inspiring. And I think that there is a vulnerability to her that I think is so admirable, especially when, listen, I was never Miss America. Nobody was like, I cannot believe that Dina's doing this after she's been Miss America. Everybody's like, yeah, I believe this is exactly what Dina would do. Because she was the 11th runner-up. This feels very 11th runner-up to do. So it's great. I'm a fan. Well, that's what it seems like. Yeah, she does, Kathy. You have to go back and watch the whole thing. Yeah. Tonight, we have joining us again for Tipsy Tuesday. We have Laurie Kilmartin. If you remember her, she is a fabulous comedian. Her son is probably graduating soon. Last time we talked to her, I think in the fall, and he was rounding out his last year on, I think it was like the swim team or something. Well, she's on the writing team for the Oscars with Conan O'Brien. So she was texting about it on Instagram. And so we're going to hear a little bit more from her. So it'll be fun. Tipsy Tuesday for sure. So don't forget to join us. But thanks for watching, everybody. We'll continue to have great guests like Nina. Oh, wait, here's a picture of Nina when she was Miss America. Gorgeous. It literally looks like this was today. Why does she look exactly It's all the smoothies. It's all the smoothies. So that's it for us today, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, drink more smoothies. That's what they say all the time. So thanks for watching. Have a great day and a blessed day. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tonight, Tips Tuesday.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content. Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on